Africa is considered by many to be the world's most up-and-coming continent, and all across Africa, more countries are starting to open up to the idea of dual citizenship. I'm going to share with you the latest. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. This is Nomad Capitalist. It's where we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and investors legally go where you're treated best. Now, why do we talk about Africa? There's a couple reasons. Number one, some people who are building their passport portfolio like the idea of having an African passport in the mix. You've got some of the best passports in Africa are Mauritius and Seychelles. Those are certainly more difficult to get, although Mauritius has a permanent residence program. But as the African Union looks to roll out advantages for all African citizens, there are African countries that are pretty difficult to get into. There are some that require pretty much everyone on earth to get a visa. And so if you're looking for more exotic business opportunities in very up-and-coming places, having an African passport may not be the worst thing to have as part of your passport stack. And I've talked to a number of folks who are doing business in Africa, and they just say exactly what we talk about. They say you can go and start pretty simple businesses, and if you know the right people, if you know the culture, if you know how to get things done, you can be incredibly successful, more than you can be in those kind of businesses anywhere else on earth. You can get the first mover advantage. Now, another reason why I want to talk about Africa is because a number of people have reached out to me over the last couple of years saying, hey Andrew, I'd like to get a second passport because I'm of African descent. I don't have ancestors from Ireland or Italy or any of the more widely discussed citizenship by descent destinations, but some people have even said, I've tracked down where my ancestors come from to Sierra Leone or to Ghana or to wherever else. And hey, if you qualify for a passport by descent, I would often consider taking that. There may be a couple passports in Africa that I wouldn't want to take, but if you can say, hey, this is my family, this is where I come from, I wanted to go back and get the citizenship of my ancestors, I think that still could be a compelling case. And so what we've been seeing in Africa recently is a couple countries, namely Kenya, have been cracking down saying, hey, listen, dual citizens not welcome to be in certain parts of government. We've been seeing that in other parts of the world like Cambodia. What we have also been seeing, though, is news from, for example, Malawi. There's a story from allafrica.com recently coming out about how the Malawian diaspora is very happy that the government is now finally finishing up their dual citizenship bill, and you will be able to hold dual citizenship with Malawi and somewhere else. And so that's an opportunity for Malawi. Certainly a lot of passports in Africa aren't going to get you into a lot of countries. African passports in terms of travel can be relatively decent in Southeast Asia. You can get into Malaysia, even Singapore. You can get into some parts of Latin America. So they're not maybe the strongest travel documents, but again, not only within Africa there could be some benefits, but in some cases they are getting stronger. Malawi actually isn't the worst, and they're now opening up. Another story from Liberia, where the government basically said, hey, we're going to start issuing passports to dual citizens. It had been illegal, as I understand. You couldn't have dual citizenship. And then there was a lawsuit, and the courts in Liberia said, hey, you know what? We're going to make you go after people and actually sue them if you don't want them to have dual citizenship. And so the government said, basically, we're just going to issue passports to folks. So if you are Liberian, or if you could potentially go back and claim that, then that could be an opportunity for you. Sierra Leone right now is pushing for more loosening of restrictions on dual citizenship. Again, it's a place where people have come and said, hey, I've tracked down my ancestors. They have come from Sierra Leone. You're also seeing countries, this is according to Quartz Africa, who are coming to terms with dual citizenship among their diaspora. And so Cameroon, Ethiopia, not a bad passport. And these countries are starting to open up. And so we've seen news from countries like Germany recently, where there's been talk from some of the political parties that are taking over. Amidst all the nonsense that they're talking about, they have said, hey, let's open up dual citizenship and make that more broad. I'm starting to see headlines over the last couple months about more and more African countries who are thinking about doing that. So certainly you've got well over 50 countries in Africa. If you'd like us to talk more about it, leave a comment below. We'll definitely put it on our radar to keep track of. But it's very interesting. You have a continent where you do have a decent number of restrictions on being a dual citizen. As a lot of those folks have moved, whether it's to the United States, whether it's to Europe, whether it's to other countries in Africa, there is this grappling of what do we do with People who are increasingly international, do we take their citizenship away? And increasingly the answer, not just in Africa but elsewhere, is no. Let's learn to live with this. Let's allow people to be dual citizens. And so not only if you have African ancestry, should you perhaps look at citizenship by descent, look at ancestry. If you can figure out where that is, you have some countries that are being more open and saying, hey, we want to bring people back to Africa. We want to give citizenship. Maybe if you weren't exactly from here, we still want to help you. And you have other countries that are opening up. So whether you're from Africa and you've moved elsewhere, or whether you want to reconnect with your ancestry, it is perhaps going to be increasingly easy in the years. Again, Sierra Leone, Liberia, among others, going to be more open. Don't stop now. We've got well over 1,000 more videos here on YouTube for you to watch and learn how to go where you're treated best. And if you want to work with Nomad Capitalist personally, go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn about our unique, tried and true process, garnered over years of experience, and learn how you can become our client.